to each and everyone in Georgetown, Guyana, and to the rest of the world. Today, I take the honor of saying the truth about all third world nations, the curse of the third world. Why I call it the curse? But before I continue, I want all of you who are watching this video to subscribe and press the bell so you will get the next updated video as soon as I put it out. And you have a right to your comments and everything else. Fellow citizens of Guyana and the rest of the world. Today in Nigeria, there is big dispute between the election that run between African nation, black people, as we say, which that's not my terminology, but I'm going to use it because everybody else uses it. And the Buhari government elect an older man who might die in 2 or 3 months from now, God will decide, or might be forgot what he do or what he will not do. Why we cannot have a younger person under 65, from 30 to 65 to be a leader of Africa? We always have to choose an old person. When you meet certain age, ladies and gentlemen, your brain start to reverse, you start to forget. And you want to bring your way of life into the modern life of the future. Totally, I'm against that. The third world curse is, when we get rid of the European, as India said backward, China drove them out, India drove them out, and Africa drove them out as white man. Today we have our own black brothers, and as we can see, what is happening? Absolute power corrupts. Is there no young man with the vision and prosperity to run a country? Why it got to be an old bastard over 60, 65, 70? This person already having a weak way of thinking and visualizing the world for what it is. Nope, if you are going to have pension at 65, why we allow president to be 66, 67, 68, and 70 and more? We must understand that what goes for one goes for all. Is the king, the emperor, the queen, and others can run for 100 years? Ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not, once a man, twice a child. When you meet certain age, your brain starts to reverse. You're forgetful. You don't hear good. You don't see good. And you have no bloody feelings because the graveyard is saying, welcome, we are waiting on you. What are you doing? In Nigeria today, we elect a very old person. And according to the Nigerians, the election was rigged. And there is problem. The Buhari government. Nigeria, like many other third world countries, go through a lot. We had a Bashawuti, billions, and put it in the Swiss bank. On to this day, dead and gone, nobody get it back. But the Jewish people, after Adolf Hitler slaughter them, take their jewel, the Jewish people get back what was put in the Swiss bank for them. Isn't the African deserve to have the same thing in Nigeria? Once a law is being broken by a terrorist or a corrupt dictator, whoever behold those mineral resources or cash must hand it over. But nevertheless, that's the curse of the third world. Take Georgetown, Guyana, where I was born into as a mixed race. African descendant, which is Nigerian, Indian, Native, and Portuguese, and other races according to my DNA. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make it clear. When Guyana claimed independence in 1966, that was given to them, really and truly, it was not an independent, it was dependent. We cannot take some man's property and give it to his servant who is a slave and call it independent. especially when they are claiming emancipation and the other one claiming day of arrival. English language, correct me, Mr. Anil Nandalal and others. I'm a dunce. I cannot read and write. I'm stupid. I'm ignorant. I am racial, as you all are saying. But I want you all to know I have Nigerian blood in me, Indian blood in me, Portuguese, and others are native Indian. If you believe in the teaching of your Quran or your Ramayana, well, the mind are already, so I would throw that aside, or the Vedas. Once your mind raw, you're not mature, and once you're Vedas, you're dodging everybody. So put them to a side. But the Holy Quran and the Bible spoke some great words. Thou shalt not covet thy brother's property. And you, the black man and woman in Guyana, and the Indian man and woman in Guyana that vote race are coveted the Amerindian country. You could kill me. My ghost will live in your fucking house. I said that. It's not a bad word, figure of speech. But nevertheless, I apologize for it if you all take it offensive. I asked many questions. Today, I've been looking at a video where my black brother was speaking about what happened in Letem, where the police dismantling the office of APNU or PNC. I would like the cameraman to give you a little show of it, and then I will continue. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but we have a little technical problem there, and maybe it's happened for a reason. But what the young brother was saying there on that thing there concerning something in Letem, that the police are dismantling the office of the AFC or APNU or whoever you want to call it, or PNC office. And yes, he have a right to make a noise. And the police told him, according to what I was listening to, that they was ordered to do that. Fellow citizens, Guyana is very racial, starting with our black brothers. You are the most racial black people out of Africa in Guyana. Now, when I say that, you might think I hate all of you. No, I got your blood in me. At least 63% of you are very racial. And that come about because of less education and very corrupt teaching from your corrupt politicians. But from 1966 to now, what have they given to you? They give to friends and family house pat, business, and other things. What have they give to you? As much as the PPP, as Indian descendant. What did the late Chenny Jagan give to y'all? Trust me. Imagine Burnham give South Rockwell and wherever, Roxanne Burnham Garden, Lelini Danashama. Is any one of you named there? Y'all better wake up to reality and understand that these people use you and abuse you to get where they want to go. Ask Joseph Herman, ask Robert Carving, and ask the rest. All them old bastards who are in the political arena. Ask them what they accomplished and what you have got. Did you see any one of the family and friends, close friends, and children on the street demonstrating, mashing up people's country? And therefore, I want you to understand clearly, you all must not be used and abused like that. You all deserve land to build your house and money to be put in your hands. Guyana is not Africa and is not India. Africa is independent and ruled by all African descendants. No European, no Chinese and Indians and others are ruling them. India the same, China the same. Guyana still was not independent because the 9 tribes are still acting for the legal rights of their land. It should have been the other way around, where Indian and black people should have been asking for permission to live and to get permission and papers to stay in the country. Since knowing that some of you are claiming emancipation and the others are claiming day of arrival. Well, if you're free as emancipated, go back. And if your day of arrival, your visa run out, it's time to leave. Uganda. I was one of the biggest critics for Idi Amin Dada when he drove over 900,000 people, Indian descendant out of Uganda, who was born and grew there. But when I was there and get to understand the true sense of it, the man had a right. They were fighting for land. Going to the Obia man, same thing what happening in Guyana they were doing. He was a black Muslim. So he couldn't tolerate the nonsense even though he was not right himself. So he get rid of one disease, put them out. Then Burma do the same to the Indian descendant. Anywhere you Indian go, you fight for land that don't belong to you. Imagine in America, Queens, Lefort Boulevard, you people come and call it Little Guyana. Which Guyana are you talking about? French? British? Or Suriname, which is Dutch? Fellow citizens, wake up to reality and the truth. Can we call Horstellin Little India? Or could we call Mackenzie Little Africa? Then where is Little Portugal and China? You illiterate bastards, and I said it without any apology. The politicians are taking care of themselves. All what you're seeing, only if we all believe they're representing you, they're full in their effing pockets. They don't care about you. Look at the AFC. Ramjatan, Nagamutu, and especially Ramjatan, because I speak against him and Nagamutu. My son was wrongfully imprisoned by judges or magistrates. But let me tell you something, there is a God, a judge beyond all judge. All who done is wrong, if you have children, they will run mad. Mark my word, look at it. They will run mad, Ramjatan. Even you will eat the shit that cometh from your ass. And you, Nagamutu, you too disease were the fault of Apnu. God David Granger hand the case to you, Mr. Ramjatan, and you lock up my son and order him to be beaten naked at Timeri Station. The commander will soon answer. We are not going to give up on this. Anyhow, I would appreciate to hold 1 second till you get this video, if possible, a call to my cameraman. Would you mind, please? Release it, let them hear.
Yeah.
Good morning, Guyana.
Bear with me 1 second, please.
We have reached the lowest ebb in the history of Lethem, where the police has been instructed to supervise the destruction of the PNCR office here in Lethem. I live 8 miles out of Lethem. I got a call from Georgetown out of my bed that the office has been dismantled. I immediately arrived here. It took me like about 15 minutes to reach here, only to observe that the roof of the building was off. The walls are now being dismantled by a known thug of Lethem, and he's been ably assisted by some Venezuelan immigrants. That is how low we have sunk today. It's a sad day in the history of Lethem. And all the talk of about one Guyana It is only a farce. One Guyana means one Guyana for one set of people. That's what it really means. Guyana for one set of people. The sad thing though is we try to mobilize our members, but our members are sleeping. And that's another sad occasion, sad day in Guyana. Now is when we should come out here in solidarity and enforce and stop this nonsense. The police is going to stop all of us. But it's just two of us out here, myself and George Nicholson. If we had come out here in force, the police could have stopped us. It would have been a different situation. I'm angry. I'm disappointed that this building that has been occupied by the PNCR for 47 years has now been dismantled by this government. On the instruction, the police told me personally he is working with instructions and that nobody from the PNCR is allowed to go into that office. Well, if we were here in numbers, they would have to arrest all of us. It's just two of us out here.
Yes, fellow Guyanese, I do hope you're listening to that little audio that come over there with a little video. Well, now I wanted to let you know clearly what a hypocrisy, an insult to the country. APNUM, which is AFC after fooling the country and fooling the coolie, joined hands with PNC to remove the PPP and to hold power. Nagamutu and Ramjatan had wanted to be president or vice president in PPP. They couldn't get a chance to get kicked out. Trotman had wanted to be something great in PNC, I'd kick him out. But I don't hear much of Trotman with all the Isle deal and all these things what's going on. But that's not my problem. But we lock up a little black boy and coolie for pickpocket and robbery. But these politicians are getting off scot-free. Look, so many things what happened in Parliament and all this election that went. I'm not calling names. Why none of them in jail yet? Well, I'm saying here to you, the two race, stop your bullshit. Stop fighting each other and unite. Because both race of this political affair have nothing to do with you. And for every one man or woman you kill because of them, you have a family. You don't want it to be liquidated. I'm warning you. Because Venezuela is claiming 60% of Guyana. And they give 120,000 Guyanese family place to live freely. And I want the United States to listen carefully. We speak English. We are brothers in the same British Empire. Stepping now, and let's take Guyana, put your base, put what you have to be, because you once been there, you have your base there at Kingston Airport. And let's run the country and do what's right. We need a guillotine. For every man that was locked up wrongfully, the judge, the magistrate, the prosecutor, and the police will answer the charge. Today, while looking at this video from Latem and wherever him, the police particularly claimed there was given an order. And yes, there was. How does it look to you that not black people for black people, your daily bread come first, your security of your family come first? The death of the late Walter Rodney was done by a black man named Gregory Smith, according to information is alleged. And yes, they say before Gregory do what he had to do, he leave Freedom House 2 hours before. So think of it. I'm calling on you, the patriotic Guyanese, both ways. Stop your nonsense, come together and unite. We can never bring about a peaceful Guyana with PPP, see, and APNUM, which is Ramjatan Nagamutu joined them, their PPP affiliates. Same like when Burnham get the country in independence, 7 or 9 Indians crossed the floor. So we are fighting the same people. Why not get together and come for a national front government? Elect an Amerindian man or woman. Or a Douglas. Because we had black people, corruption. We had Indian, corruption too. The black Muslim racism and a lot of corruption. The coolie is corruption right the way through, and I have no apology to this. So, Mr. Ali, as a Muslim, to a Muslim, I do hope that you will do what is right, and you will get our support. We give you close to 40,000 votes the last time. I want you to look into the case of my son, Anthony Snow. I will sign an agreement. If he's guilty, kill him and kill me. I'm coming. But if he's innocent, I want the head of Ramjatan and all who was involved, from the magistrate to the judge and the police, that beat him and didn't even give him medical facility. I'm calling on the UN and all embassies to stand up against human rights. If not, my enemy of my enemy could be my best friend. I hope you know what I mean. None of us live forever. Peace and good luck. Mr. Ali, keep your good work up.